Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Aries, and a big welcome to those zodiac signs that felt like this constellation, which exists only once a year, has an inspiration for them as well. I do the reading always exactly on the day the moon is in your sign. That means when I look at the moon, I see your constellation behind it, and when I look at the sun, which gives you the light in the waning moon, I see Capricorn behind it. Now, these two are, of course, energies that have to do with the material world. The number 4, the throne, the 4, here, the block of darkness here that these two people are chained upon. This is the 10th house of social status, and you are the first house of self. And so the energy here is like, yes, you can get very easily attached to that feeling of I'm the emperor, I am the king of kings, and I control everything, and I'm in control. And at the same time, you're attached to this seat as well, right? You're chained to it as well. It's almost like you can't get out of this chair, and you got to take all your power to get into your third eye, to get through the mind, because you're the mind as well, because you access your mind through meditation. So the third eye with here the devil or the Capricorn is the only way that we can liberate ourselves. Now here, this is planet Saturn is ruling Capricorn, the teacher, the father, and here Mars is ruling you, which is the warrior. The yoga position for Capricorn is the dancer pose. We dance ourselves up into this state of consciousness. And for you, I did the meditation, looking deep within into all directions to create a new awareness for yourself. And it's deep within you, rooted the fact that you lead everything by your mind, and that's why you also like to sit here on your throne. Your court card is the Queen of Wands. She looks into the right spinning cycle. The little cat is looking at you. And so this right spinning path is the 365-day cycle the Earth does around the Sun in a right spinning circle. And today you get a right spinning reading of 13 major arcanas with different decks on its position. And on your full moon, which is opposite your sign, the Libra energy opposite of you, that's where you have your full moon, you get a left spinning cycle, a soul cycle. The left spinning cycle is where the Earth spins around its own axis to the left. And that spin lasts 25,800 years. We divide it through the 12 zodiac signs like the month, but we get a year of 2,150 years. So that's the age that we're talking about. We're going into the age of Aquarius, but some say we're still in the age of Pisces. So here, this is you looking into the right spinning cycle, and understand that you have the power, like a witch, to go in both directions, but right now you decided to look to the right spinning. So you want to be here on the Earth. That's the outer energy affecting the soul in the within, and the left spinning path is from within to the outside, that we want to experience what the soul came here to do. Last reading, where you had Sagittarius Sun affecting you, radical acceptance of yourself makes you glow like a goddess, like a god or goddess. And you had that goddess coming out of the water, and you had here this radical acceptance and the outer core, this beautiful lady coming out of the water. And I think sometimes it's that fire aspect of Sagittarius, right? That was philosophy speaking to you, the house of philosophy. Now you have the house of social status, and you need social status very much because that's your title. You are the emperor. You're the king of kings, right? And so let's have a look what Capricorn is wanting to tell you in this reading today. So on the position of the Fool, which is going into the left spinning cycle, which means this state of consciousness is something that comes from deep within to the outside. And you see how here the sun, or the sun god Apollo, is actually almost surfing on a cloud, and he is facing the left spinning path, but he's looking over into the right spinning, almost like that's where I just was, and now I'm gonna go again back into the other direction. And so you are looking with your head also over to the right spinning, to the human path, and this path to the left is the soul path. And you're holding the sun above your head, and here you're standing on your cloud, and you're standing on your right foot, looking back into the earthly plane where you came from. And you know now the sun, the clarity that is speaking here to you, is something is clearly making sense to you, right? That's what I get by looking at the combination here. Then on the position of the Magician comes the Time Master, the number 57, and that's a 12 calculated together, and then a 3. This is a 19, so it becomes a 10. And this state of consciousness acts upon the Fool's idea of clarity. And it's almost like he's looking down at the Time Master, and the Time Master looks into the right spinning path because that's where time is needed. In the left spinning path, we don't need time. The soul doesn't experience time at all because it's infinite, and that's where the symbol above the head of the Magician comes in and says, yeah, I know I'm infinite. I am a spirit. But here I am also looking over into the right spinning path, and I recognize that that's where I go again now in this circle. And at the same time, you see how he is looking over, but is also facing the soul path, right? Because the sun is the center of our solar system. And so the Time Master has then all 12 zodiac signs as the number 12. Now here the 1 is always the Magician, and the 9 is the Hermit. And then the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune calculated together. So there is quite a story already happening. There is something that makes you realize, because it's something that you have worked on. It's something that you have realized, and the sun has given you now a deeper meaning or a deeper understanding of how things are functioning and of how much we are really attached, right? Because Capricorn is in the position of the sun, and it's almost like you're like liberating yourself, you're freeing yourself. And so then becomes, of course, the 3, or first here the 5, which is the Hierophant, and the 7 is the Chariot. Together is the 12. The 12 is the Hanged Man, and the 3 then together is the Empress. So also quite a story at the Time Master, right? To calculate all that together, all these numbers that appear. And that's time. Time has numbers included. And he's looking at the right spinning path. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes here Temperance, and Temperance is Sagittarius. So there is here a first zodiac sign speaking to you, Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, maybe the last reading where radical acceptance of yourself makes you glow like a goddess. Now, very interesting, you have this time immediately the sun, and so you kind of glow like a goddess, right? Maybe you are here now glowing like a goddess, and you're kind of like, okay, now what comes next? And the Time Master is coming saying, well, we're going to go and continue the cycle. And Sagittarius is the one that is actually giving us, the guardian angel is giving us the combination of water and fire, which is exactly what the Queen of Wands has. All queens are connected with the element water because they're feminine. And here it's water and fire because this is a fire sign. So she wants to be successful. She has to combine these dualities, and this is exactly what's happening here. This is like fire and water coming together, and the alchemical transformation creates then this angelic being here. And the Time Master is looking exactly at this connection here and is saying, all right, so now I know I have a guardian angel here in this dimension, and I can continue my search outside of time. But he is time, so he's back in time. On the position of the Empress, the number 3 comes the Lovers, which is a Gemini, the number 6. And she gives birth to all the other 3 state of consciousness, because the High Priestess is the intuition. And the intuition is telling you, you have a guardian angel, you are protected here on planet Earth, because this is where the Time Master is looking at, and he's kind of like knowing, okay, traveling through time and space is giving you the power now to recognize something quite profound, that these two are opposite of each other, right? So Sagittarius has his full moon in Gemini, and Gemini has its full moon in Sagittarius. So they're playing on each other. They are giving each other the right push. And so here you can see how he has to choose one path, but he chooses himself, because that's what Gemini does. Gemini's number 6 is the hexagram that's in the center here of the Sagittarius guardian angel, and the beautiful little child that has come up at the position of the sun. It's almost like it's saying, yes, here I am, and I'm gonna shoot this beautiful energy at you, and I'm gonna tell you, yes, you can love yourself profoundly and deeply, and I am here to give you that clarity now, as that deep, deep, deep inspiration that comes from deep, deep within. Go past the Time Master and go into that infinite guardian angel self-love connection, and just live your life in a whole new way. Now this is a 14, which then becomes a 5, the 1 again, which is here on the position of the 1. The Magician came the Time Master, and the 4 is you as the Emperor. And so the 5 is the Hierophant. The 5 comes back then also here with this 5, creates a 5-5. And you're learning that some things are quite intricate, some things are quite complex. Through the duality, we're able to come into the center, and through that center, we're able to recognize layers and layers and layers of this universe that is teaching us to go deep within ourselves. And this is where the error is pointing at. Then comes you as the Court card. You have understood these 4 states of consciousness, because this is the Empress that is giving you this kind of self-love. You are starting to really love yourself and give birth to that kind of consciousness. Bring it into the world. And then you're looking over to the left spinning cycle, and you're like, okay, I'm going to continue my path with this knowledge. And then comes on the position of the Emperor, comes here the Knight of Wands, which is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is really here. Sagittarius is really wanting to tell you something. Find love, find the mixture that you have here between water and fire. But now you have the Knight, which is fire and fire. All the Knights are fire, and then respectively the element of each of the Knights plays the energy, right? And so fire and fire is adventure. Fire and fire is like sometimes a lot of heat, so much heat that we burn things. But you are here ready to almost jump onto this horse and take that path into the world, into the humanness of all of this here. On the position then of the Wheel of Fortune comes here the white rose. And the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter spinning and turning and letting us know everything can go to the right or to the left. Right? So there's two ways of spinning. Right or left, in or out, up and down, right and left. You get the idea. And so here it seems like there is this goal. There's this beautiful flower, the white rose of hope, the number 30, the 3 and the 0, which then becomes this 3, because this is the 57, becomes a 12, and 12 becomes then a 3. And the 3 is that self-love that you found on the position of the Empress. And the hope is speaking to you here through this beautiful flower, and you are actually ready to take that path forward into the human world, into that humanness, into that which makes this life so exciting as well. On the position of the Hanged Man comes the Amethyst, which is another 3. So you have a 3 portal here, the Time Master looking over to her, and now here reveals the Amethyst something quite profound to you, because the Amethyst is the color purple, which is the third eye, speaking about the Capricorn energy in the third eye, and it's saying letting go of old habits and unconscious patterns that you need to let go. So we start sometimes doing things automatically, right? Because we're used to it from our childhood. We're used to it. So there is this change coming to you through the Hangman, and the Hangman is that kind of energy that's saying let go, truly let go of those old patterns, truly let go of time. Time doesn't exist. Time is a man construct. We humans created time. There is time as a season, but it's not seen like the way we created time and a clock, and it's ticking and everything is going literally forward. Now it's circular. Time is really truly circular. And now we are beginning a new year, right? You have the last reading now in this year 2022. So you have the opportunity to let go of things, because then on the position of the Capricorn, the devil, the keeper of taboo, comes here the Chariot, and Chariot is Cancer. Cancer is opposite of Capricorn, and we will have a Cancer full moon on the 6th or 7th of January. And so it almost seems like this is the full moon, and on that full moon you're able to let go of things that you're still attached to, and then you're going to be successfully moving forward. You're going to be going ahead, and you're going to go and change your life and create new things that you're meant to create. It's time. It's time for you to shift, because you have the Knight. You have help. He's going to help you. He's going to go with you, because he's a wand as well. So you get along with him. He understands your fire, but you also have that water inside of you. But he's going to be like, okay, let's just do it. And then comes Cancer, full moon. You're going to really be able to shift yourself on that Cancer full moon. Then on the position of the Tower, which is Mars, that is creating here the shift of the crown that's falling down, and you wearing a crown, and that crown is falling, and it's time, because you're ready to fly. And again, the moon comes up, the full moon at night. This card is bringing the bat, and the bat is that kind of animal that is very, it hears things at night, and it knows that something special is coming here through this full moon in Cancer. Full moon in Cancer, you're gonna be like more receptive. You're gonna like awaken to a true you that is ready to recognize that in the air are all the most important messages. Darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth. Wow, so this full moon is going to really do something to you. When in balance, accepts, adapts, and adjusts. So you ask to adjust. You ask to let go here. Let really go, so that you can liberate yourself through Capricorn. Capricorn has bad wings as well. Liberating yourself through the knowledge of going into the amethyst, into the third eye, into the purple, and liberate yourself to such an extent that you are knowing that certain things must go. Then that liberation is the liberation, the attachment to cycles, to rhythms, to habits that we think we cannot change, but we can. We really can. If we want, we can. We just have to want. Then on the position of the moon comes here the Shaman's Dream Oracle from Alberto Villolo. So this is the number 62, and that's the will-o'-the-wisp. He treasures hidden in the shadows. And the moon is the dream, is the dream world. And so in your dreams comes this kind of creature or this kind of personality, and I'm going to look in a minute. So you're coming out, and you want to come out of your deep subconscious, because that's why the moon now is on your position and giving you through the sun this light. And the moon here is saying, yes, go and look deep within and recognize that you want to shift something. Treasures hidden in the shadows, the great mystery, epiphany. You see, will-o'-the-wisp hoovers in the luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, into the unknown. So this is why the bad is coming to you, is telling you, okay, you are now ready to look into the right spinning path, even though you have had the privilege now to recognize also the sun coming up in your mind, in your foolish mind, right? And then the Time Master is coming and saying, all right, now get back into the cycle, get back. And here you are asked to go into the mystery. It's almost like it's also flying here, right? Something is like, it's a little bit like they are connected very much. There's this mysterious glow. It's almost like we're looking deeper into this flower, and now we see here is a face. So then on the position of the sun, which is in Capricorn, and the sun is the clarity that wants to come to you, and the sun has come to you, comes the magnetism, the number 37. And so on the position of the sun, the Capricorn, right, we had the Chariot. And there's a 37, which then becomes a 10, a 1 and a 0, but there's a 7-7 portal speaking to you that now out of your childhood you're going to break free, and you want to go out into the world, and you're going to really shift something, because this magnetism or this attraction to this kind of energy, it's almost like this is here also inside of this magnetic energy, the mysteriousness of life. Go and go for it. Don't be afraid of it. Just go for it and allow yourself to learn and to grow and to shift. because that's really deeply speaking to you, right? Because the moon in your position. So then on the position of the last judgment, or the wake-up call, or the guardian angel calling you, right? You had a guardian angel. You are getting here this moon again. So there is a little bit of a moon. There is a moon here, and it says nature. Go out in nature as much as you can, for its pure creativity can teach you everything you need to know. The number 72, which is then a 9. So there's a 9 here in the 19. And 9 is Virgo, 9 is the completion. 37 becomes a 10. And the 10 is a 1 and a 0. But we don't have another 10. We have an 8 here, which is the infinite loop of things appearing and disappearing, coming and going, coming out, and feeling you have come out of your subconscious, and then you realize you're coming out of another subconscious story, right? There's story upon story, layer upon layer. And this is where the Time Master also comes in. The Time Master, as that he knows that there are some stories, he knows that there are layers, he knows that there are things that we have to break free. And so the 9, or the nature itself, is giving you the wonder, is giving you this magnetism. And as that 1 and 0, you're ready to awaken as a child into the wonder. And here you have then a 10-10 portal with the 10 of Cups, which is Mars in Pisces. So Mars, your planet that rules you, is giving you the 10, and that's the conscious and the subconscious becoming one. And it's something you have realized here through this 10. There's a 10 and a 10 and a 10 portal. So there's a 10, 10, 10 portal. 3 times 10 is letting you know that you are ready to really transform and find power within yourself to awaken, to shift, to really be a new inspiration. Because as you can see, the child that you have been here is looking down at this kind of card, and so you realize that you awakening. I'm just going to put this one down for a moment, because this is the 10-10. He's this childish endeavor that is looking over at him. He's sitting here, and he's like, okay, you can do this. 10, 10, 10. 3 times 10. It's the completion. It's the kingdom. You are the king. Remember, the king of kings. You're the emperor. And so here comes the Mars and Pisces. So there's a happiness in the subconscious. You find your happiness in the subconscious. Because subconscious are also your dreams. And on the position of your dreams is this, going to the mystical. Go and really explore. And particularly find the outlet here now on the full moon in Cancer, which is on the 6th and the 7th. Create a wish list and burn it and make a fire. That's what I do. Right? I'm creating soul celebrations on the full moons. So we celebrate this moment of, you know, each full moon has another power. And the power is here that you're becoming empowered through the deep within, to the deep within understanding that the subconscious can be liberated, can be freed, because then we have him here, and it's almost like the cycle closes. He's like, I'm looking over to the right cycle, but his physical body is here, and this child is sitting here, and it's like, yeah, I know what you're doing up there, right? It's like the sun. He's holding the sun. And here's the sun, here's the 10. And the Wheel of Fortune, right? And on the Wheel of Fortune, we had here the white rose. We had that cycle. The cycle of the moon is really also what here the time master knows, because that's how we started to realize that there is something always coming and going up in the sky. And that's how we started to be connected with the time. And you are awakening to that. And the more you go into nature, like it says here, right, the more we go into nature, the more we can recognize that this is really important, that this is awakening you, and that you gotta go back to nature, and you gotta come back to these cycles and understand what this life is really all about, right? True happiness. Look at this. The 10 of emotions. This is like jackpot in happiness. What else do you want, right? And then, of course, with this, it's like, there you go. More happy you cannot be, right? You are excited, you are here, and you have found your true self-love as well here through the 6. So, enjoy it, right? And I hope you're gonna take care of yourself on the 6th, on the next full moon. Write down what you want and what you don't want, burn the paper and let go. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the Earth spins in such a way that we see behind the Sun, the constellation, Aquarius. After Capricorn comes Aquarius, so that's going to be the influence for you. Until then, I wish you a happy new year, and I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.